So hello everybody. Thank you, Saya, and the group of organizer of VES. I'm really happy to do this presentation with you. So it will be easy. I know it's the end of the day. It won't be too demanding. I will share with you many excerpts of work that I found relate to surprise, glitch, unpredictability, and also, of course, to my research, which is all about asynchrony. Briefly said, it's about what is not synchronized, and the result of it, it's asynchrony. But let's see how it goes. I will show you example, and we will come back to this. So yes, I see it in two parts. I will present first a lot of stuff, commenting it, and then I will keep some time at the end, and I'm really curious to see also how do you relate to the material. Is there any concept, tools here that could be useful for your own practice? I'm curious to see who you are. So let's just jump. Take your popcorn, because it will be a lot of film, and then, but short excerpt, nothing long. Okay, so I will share my screen. Yes, with you. And this I should not see actually. Do I share my screen? Do you? Yo, okay. Yes. I'm about doing it. Yes, share. Yes. Perfect. Okay, here we are. And then I'm gonna just do this. Where it is, sorry. Okay, so asynchrony is a methodology and theoretical tool for editing, coming from choreography, actually, from my own practice. And then you can apply this in choreography, of course, in cinematographic edition, and into visual art, different practice. I will show you some example. It would be much easier to understand what I'm talking about. If I go to, yes, next one, there's a slight description of what is asynchrony. Asynchrony could be described simply as a little moment of where there's a slight change in space within an artwork. For instance, you're looking at a film and you can notice that the relations between the sound and images is not really exactly synced. So it could be disturbing, or just it retain your attention. And I will give you the first example from where my practice around asynchrony came actually from an accident, from an error that happened, and where exactly the sound and the image are not synchronized. But I found it was working very well. So let's see this first excerpt. I just want to make my face disappear. Do you see my face a lot? I just want you to see not my face.
The image that you're sharing is a lot bigger, so I think it's okay like this. We can
okay, perfect, because I want you to see the image. Okay, this is too far. This one, okay. So let's look at this first excerpt. This is from Out of Mies for Mies van der Rohe, the architect. He did 3 work in the 60s in Montreal. And I did decide to make an installation where I filmed the 3 projects he did in Montreal. Now we will see the apartment building. And it's an excerpt like from 1 minute. But I will start showing it to you, I will comment it, and then we will continue. And then I will explain what I did, or how I desynchronized the stuff. Okay, so if we go, whoops, sorry, I'm not good, I can see. Okay, here. and the sound. Let's go. So during the film, I do a little stop here and I will explain you. So during the editing of this film, I found myself missing the sound because the crew, the cinematographic crew who was with me, they didn't have the person who usually, you know, we call it in French, perchiste, who does the sound. And they told me, oh, don't worry, Lynda, it's normal in cinema. We come back on the site and we do other sound recording. But it was disturbing for me because my images were mute. And I called a friend who is a sound artist and I asked Roger, could you send me just the sound of the donkey in Au hasard Balthazar? I don't know if some of you know this beautiful film of Robert Bresson. It's from, I think it's 64, something like that, this movie. And what you will see is my way to edit image and sounds together. But the sound doesn't belong at all to this space. So this is a perfect example of asynchrony. Like you take a sound from another film, another period of time, the 60s, and you will see the donkey and the performer connection. So that was the first excerpt I want to show you. So yes, the sound you heard was the sound of the donkey. The wind you would hear was the wind of the film. So, but this little discrepancy between the two images makes the image for me much more crispier, let's say, and I could get my attention to it. I'm talking about attention because somehow, maybe you read it in my little proposal for VES. All this thing about asynchrony and this research I'm doing, it came from my practice, and it's about, I didn't find any, I knew the future, I would say, of the image, or I knew the future of an exhibition very quickly. So I was like, how can I challenge my attention? How can I refresh my eyes? And one of the strategy I found was to really deconstruct somehow the history, and because already in cinema, there's a strong history of gluing the sound and the image together, it goes together. But this goes beyond cinema. It goes also with choreography, the way we work music and body and all this. So it started like that, and that mistake produced something very interesting I found for my practice and my attention to the image. Okay, so now we should move to the next, did this first excerpt. We will move to the other one. Okay, that project, it's also another project of mine. We won't do only my project, I promise. I will show you other works of artists. This is an exhibition I did, the last exhibition I did in Montreal, called Out of Sight, sorry, because there's so many title in my project, Out of Sight. And if you look at the image, this is one of the room of in the gallery space, and you could, have a sense that the wall seems to be bending over or behind a bit. There's a sense of movement. And this was done with an architect with who I work, a friend of mine, trying to tweak, let's say, a bit the space and our perception of the space. So that was a way somehow to create a kind of a movement in the space in just working with a small detail. So it's just purely black painting that we put on the wall, but it looks like it's cut, but it's not. So this is an example of working spatially, I would say, with the idea of asynchronizing, desynchronizing. So when entering the space, the spectator had the impression that the wall was bending over. So that was interesting. So this is an example. And then I will show you something else. Okay, let's talk about Miklos Gahal. Miklos Gahal is a Finnish artist, actually. He's a visual artist, and indeed, he's enrolled in the PhD at KUVA, actually. He started last year. But I met him many years ago, gladly, because I saw his work in Montreal, and I was astonished by the way he works space and time in his photography. So I will give you some example. Already his actual practice is very away from that. Somehow he's working a lot with video and books and stuff like that, but he is very involved in my new research for my booklet, and he's really happy to show and share this thing. So let's see his work. So this is one photography called The Telephone Booth. I will show you also, sorry, I have notes everywhere in my office about the presentation. So as you can see, if you look at the image, it looks like a model, right? It looks like a frozen image, frozen body. But actually, it's not a model. So I call this, and I will show you other photo just afterward, but in my research, I call it fake space. So when you look at this photo, it looks like a fake space. And how I wrote here, the fake space produce holes, like illogical continuity. So when I produce, let's say myself in my own practice in choreography, a fake space, I'm gonna cut the movement. So we will see maybe just the beginning of a jump and the ending of the jump, but what is between, the dancer won't do it. So it looks very weird the way it moves. It's really awkward. And this is what I call a fake space. When I saw the work of Miklos Gahal, I could see he was doing fake space completely differently as a photographer would produce. Like him, not all photographer, but his way of producing a fake space for me, he didn't call it this way for sure for himself, but was a fake space. And I would say when you look at the image, and let's see another one, like this one, yes, it looks like the time was withdrawn from the space. Of course, when we talk about photography, you have the sense that time has stopped, but not at the moment you took the photography. When you took the photography, it was moving. It was a live situation. And but in his work, you have a sense that even when you took the photo, it was from a model of a maquette, you know? So, and this is, I'm not good to explain his work in a technical way, but I know we spoke about that a bit. It's about the lens he used. He works with teleobjective, but also the lens he used. And as you can see, there's a flue space and a more specific space. Yeah. If we look also at two other more photos of him, what I told you in the first photograph, in the telephone booth, we saw some people in the space. I call them fake body. This is also coming from my choreographic practice. And I call it fake body because the body is completely fake, you know, and flat. It looks like frozen body. And it's really challenged the way we look at the image. So here we are again in hillside. You can see that sense of maquette model, how the space, how the time is withdrawn somehow from the space. Of course, this is my own opinion. Huh? And here in dog part, also we have this quality, this texture, how space and time are dissociate somehow. For me, the way the image I would give to explain my idea is like it's like you have a photo and the layers of time has been withdrawn at slight and only space remain. So it's really interesting. Now I would like to move to Muriel. We will go in cinema. I just want to be sure it's the good excerpt. Yeah. Okay, so maybe some of you know Alain Resnais. He's a French director. He's dead now since few years. And he did this film. I'll show you 1 minute of this film called Muriel in 1963. And I'm not sure it's asynchronic, but I want to show you because it's very interesting. It's very choreographic. The way movement are treated in this excerpt is very interesting. So I'm going to show you this, and then afterward I will show you right after Passion from Jean-Luc Godard, a Swiss director, and then yes, we can talk a bit maybe about this. Okay, so I'm going to play Muriel. 1 minute.
Moi, c'est souvent une commode qui m'irait. Une commode de 1,20 m, pas plus. Je dois la placer entre des fenêtres. Et je ne trouve pas. J'achèterai une table suédoise en bois de teck. Je ne veux surtout pas vieillir mon appartement. Vous avez deux goûts à satisfaire, le mien et celui de mon époux. Vous voyez ce que je veux? Je compte sur vous. Et que la carcasse soit en bon état. Bonsoir.
Vraiment, tu n'es pas soigneux. Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une marque?
Je ne peux pas faire un geste.
Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une marque?
Il arrive quand?
Dans moins d'1 heure.
Il va rester longtemps.
Bien aimable de ne pas lui demander, il pourrait être ton père.
C'est pas une raison.
Okay. So these two excerpts was, oh no, I didn't show you Jean-Luc Godard. Okay, hang on, and let's see Jean-Luc Godard. It's a bit strange because I feel really, I know there's, you are there somewhere, people, but it's mute, so it's weird. Is it going well, Saya?
Yes, it's going well. We are here.
Okay, parfait. Okay, let's see. Passion, this excerpt is 2 minutes. Okay, maybe less. I want to share this excerpt. Here you really have the real work of that. If you are familiar with the work of Jean-Luc Godard, me, I prefer the first period of him and the last one. In the middle, I'm not sure, and it's less related to my interests about asynchrony and how the image and sound works together. But in the 80s and the last part of his life, in the 2000s, he went back to this work with image, text, voiceover, way of putting two different spaces together. It's really interesting. So you have a sense of that in that excerpt, I hope. Yeah.
Une image n'est pas forte parce qu'elle est brutale ou fantastique, mais parce que la solidarité des idées et lointaine est juste.
Non, je ne passerai pas.
Il faut me payer ou vous me laissez mon travail.
Alors, vous avez vu votre bonheur? Oui, oui. Celle-là.
Patrick, je t'attends.
Celle-là, je ne peux pas s'aimer. Ce serait bien. Je vais prendre la semaine sur les vidéos. Elle ne parle pas, elle.
Je peux parler maintenant.
C'est le cadeau de notre petit atelier.
C'est votre ami, celui qui était là? Je pourrais venir vous voir travailler, voir comment ça se fait.
Vous devriez demander à Jerzy, puisque vous le connaissez, il vous a parlé de vous.
C'est pas vrai.
Si, je vous assure.
Je vais vous poser une question, s'il vous plaît. Quelquefois, je vais voir des films ou à la télévision et on montre jamais le travail des gens. Vous savez pourquoi? J'ai défendu de filmer dans les usines. Alors j'avais raison. Sur quoi? Je me dis que profondément, le travail, c'est pareil que du plaisir. Vous voyez? C'est les mêmes gestes que de l'amour. Pas forcément de la mais les mêmes gestes.
Kiitos. Okay. I have an idea that we could try maybe, and also because I don't see you and it's weird. I was thinking to try an exercise with you. If we take, for instance, the film just before, let's say, Muriel. Yeah, Muriel. It's only 1 minute. I would invite you to open your mic and video if you want at one point, and just do a little glitch in the film, because asynchrony is all about putting simultaneously many time and space together. So we are exactly in that situation right now, right? We have the screen playing something. We are in own rectangle, each of us somewhere. And through our sound and through our image or we can pop in the film somehow. You could make just a sound or just a comment, I don't know. Just a purely wild invitation I send you. So we will play, and at one point you can just do something or not. We have 1 minute. It's like a pause. I go for the thing. Go.
Pour moi, c'est souvent une commode qui m'irait. Une commode de 1,20 m, pas plus. Je dois la placer entre des fenêtres. pas. J'achèterai une table suédoise en bois de test. Je ne veux surtout pas vieillir mon appartement. Vous avez deux goûts à satisfaire, le mien et celui de mon époux. Vous voyez ce que je veux? Je compte sur vous. Et que la carcasse soit en bon état.
Bonsoir. Vraiment, tu n'es pas soigneux. Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une
Je
marque?
ne peux pas faire un geste.
Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une marque?
Il arrive quand?
Dans moins d'une heure.
Restez longtemps.
Stop. You probably heard my accident. Can you put your voice, people? I'm curious to see. I think I heard some popping. Is it my hallucination or what?
I heard things added in it.
Yes. I would say just as a second time. Okay, let's try this. As a second time, the goal is to, let's say, to put more attention on a specific detail that you see. So if, I don't know, he's touching the table, you can put more sound for that from yourself, or just to upgrade something, a really little detail. So if some of you are willing to try with the sound especially, that would be good. Let's try just for 30 seconds. Okay, I do it again. Okay.
Pour moi, c'est au fond une commode qui m'irait. Une commode de 1,20 m, pas plus. Je dois la placer entre des fenêtres. Si je ne trouve pas, j'achèterai une table suédoise en bois de tech. Surtout pas vieillir mon appartement.
Elinkeinoministeri Mika Lintilän ja terveyden...
Les deux goûts à satisfaire, le mien et celui de mon époux. Vous voyez ce que je veux? Je compte sur vous.
Oui.
Et que la carcasse soit en bonne état.
Bonsoir. Vraiment, tu n'es pas soigneux. Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une
Je ne
marque?
peux pas faire un geste.
Comment veux-tu que je vende cette table s'il y a une marque?
Comment?
Il arrive quand?
Moins d'une heure.
Restez longtemps.
Bien aimable de ne pas lui demander, il pourrait être ton père.
Okay. We start to have fun doing this. Yeah, it makes me think also, you know, it's an art form in cinema. They call it Foley. Is it Foley? It's the people who works in a booth and they reproduce the sound to help when they do the subtitle area and reboot, let's say, the sound, they do the Foley with different instruments. It makes me think of that. Thank you for the trial. Okay, so maybe we should continue, unless, do you want to ask question or I just continue? I have 3 more excerpts. I continue, you have questions of you? I continue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Back to my work now. I will present you an excerpt from what I call Out of Herman. I did that in 2014. It's a material that I remix completely to push the asynchronic quality of the film of Johan van der Keuken. He was from Netherlands. He did a film, a documentary around Herman Slobe, a small boy. He was, I don't know, 10 years old, something like that, and he was blind. And it's a film of 26 minutes, and I took just 2 minutes and I reworked a part that was really interesting, and I'll show you how I work sound and image together. Yes, let's do that. So thank you. So that was the remix I did. So as you could see, the little boy, Herman, reproduced what he heard during the race. And I found this a fantastic situation that I just want to concentrate on, I would say. And I did this work again. Not again, but around that material. So I just want to share that with you. Then let's see the work of the choreographer and composer Jonathan Burrows and Mateo Fargen. They are British artists. They have worked many years now together, doing duet. And I will show you a duet. I feel it's such a good example for the VES series about surprise, magic, and unpredictability, and all this thing. And you will see out of very simple movement, almost mundane movement, the way it is composed and the precision, because I think Asynchrony is all about small details, but very precise. And this is exactly what they do. And it creates very unusual and eccentric context of watching this. And for sure, my attention was completely in it. So I think it's an excellent example how to enhance attention of the audience through very small tweaking movement and playing with rhythm. So it's a short also excerpt. I think it's 1 minute 30. Yes, let's see that.
Fear of immigrants. This dance is called Silvio Berlusconi.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan Burrows and Mateo Fargen. Yes, as you could see, it produced these little details and precision in the movement and the rhythm, produce hilarity, and so we are looking at it with a certain smile. So the whole composition is made of a set of very, what I call pebble, like, you know, like you throw a rock in a little system, like very small detail, but it's each action they're doing is so precise and so surprising somehow. So it retained our attention. Yeah, it produced surprise. Very interestingly, on a dramaturgy of the piece also. It works on a dramaturgical level very nicely, I found. We'll see the last excerpt now. It's from the Playtime, the director Jacques Tati, French director. You might know, most of you, the work of Jacques Tati. He was, this film is especially a chef-d'oeuvre. How do we say that, a master work of him. And Jacques Tati was a director who really worked immensely well the relation and the dramaturgy indeed about sound, image, and the way it makes object alive. So I will show you a small excerpt of how many, like 2 minutes, maybe we'll cut it, where you can really see this editing mind about how to work on sound after the shooting also, and creating a new space. So let's see that.
Thanks. Huh? Oh.
Kiitos.